Yo, what's good? This is Casey for L King Self for Life Wrestling Takes, and you're now watching Casey for L Wrestling Takes Show. Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Casey for L King Self for Life Wrestling Takes, here to give you my honest take about both shows tonight, Rampage and Smackdown. So we made it through the first week of build to WrestleMania, and I got to be 1,000% with you. This absolutely feels like this is not WrestleMania week, and I know people gonna act like I'm hating, but I'm sorry, man. I think the only Smackdown had maybe two decent things that happened on the show. But overall, man, what I seen, I said, man, SmackDown was just as bad as Raw. Raw was garbage, and then SmackDown turned around, and I'm like, this build up finna be garbage. I'm sorry, man. They trying hard as heck, but some of the stuff I seen on SmackDown tonight, I just asked myself, what the clown is Triple H and them doing? And yes, Vince McMahon, quote unquote, technically supposed to be back, because apparently one of Triple H's guys, I guess the guy that was in control of the NIL stuff, that's the young people they go after that's in these colleges, try to get them on board. That dude got released out of nowhere. Just out of nowhere. Out of thin air. Dude gets released. I don't even know his name. But, yeah, it's just a lot of drunk. And so, the IWC was crying about Dave Meltzer's Wrestle Observer News Awards, everything going to AEW. I'm like, look, if he feel that way, I don't know why people allow people with why do they allow certain things to trigger them? Because that's what it was. It seemed like everybody was triggered because WWE got the worst TV production. They got the worst this, the worst that. Meanwhile, AEW was getting everything. I'm like, that's just one man's perspective. Why the heck are y'all allowing this dude to basically not only live rent free in your head, but y'all allowing him to get you triggered over and over again? I'm like, I can't even stand Meltzer. I don't even like Meltzer. I don't. Like I said, Meltzer, he got his ways on how he do things. Same thing with that fool Brian Alvarez. They got their ways on how they do things. I'm like, the only reason I even bother looking at their tweets is when they talk about the ratings. That's it. And like I say, speaking of the ratings, so now it seems like more and more I see on my timeline, it just seems like so many people, again, like I keep saying, they anytime AEW rises in the ratings or rises or gets some type of notoriety, everybody always coming up with, well, they're going to be eradicated in the next year or two because Warner Brothers is in debt and all this. I'm like, man, listen, I understand you don't care nothing about this corporation. Look, if you just love WWE, just focus on the E. Why the heck does AEW have to live rent free in your head? I'm serious. All these circus clowns I see on my timeline, just AEW this, AEW that. I'm like, bro, if you don't like AEW, what the clown are you looking at it for? You know, I'm like, if you want AEW to fail so bad, I'm like, to me, that's just retarded. So stupid. But, like I said, everybody tripping about the fact that Warner Brothers said they get over $4 million a week for Dynamite. Hey, that's great. That's great. But back to this. Yes, this is the first week down. We got 5 more weeks to go. Maybe they can get me excited, but as of right now, some of the stuff I seen tonight, I don't know. I really question, like, what the heck are these fools trying to do? Honestly, what the heck are they trying to do? So anyway, we open up the show. They give us right before the show, we had Caleb Braxton waiting outside the locker room door, and Jimmy walks in and she wants to get a word from that man, and he said, well, technically, yeah, I text my guy, but I can't get in contact with him, so I'm gonna address that tonight. Hopefully I can talk to him, you know. But that was it. So he walked off. So obviously you know which route they're going. Listen, as much as I do not want it, this is the route we had to go. We just had to settle for less, ladies and gentlemen. It's dumb, it's stupid, but we just had to settle for less. So then we get this match up. We get the 3 versus 3 6-man tag team match. Braun Strowman, Madcap Moss, Ricochet taking on Imperium, which is Giovanni Vinci, Gunther, and Ludwig Kaiser. This is an okay match. But during the match, Drew McIntyre came out, and he just stood there watching. I said, well, ladies and gentlemen, we're getting a triple threat, but we're getting a triple threat that I'm not even going to give a crap about. The reason why I don't care nothing about this is because WWE has conditioned us that Drew McIntyre and Sheamus are a tag team. Why the heck are you going to try to break up this so-called tag team that you put together that seems to be flourishing? It's so dumb, but that's the route that they're going. We get ready to get Drew McIntyre versus Sheamus versus Gunther for the Intercontinental Championship. I'm like, I'm not going to care. The matchup was supposed to be Sheamus and Gunther. That's what the original matchup was. But the fact that you put Drew and Sheamus together in tag team form, we've been conditioned to think maybe these are the two that's going to win the tag team titles, not Sammy and Kevin Owens. But now you want to go this garbage route, which I don't care. But like I said, the match was okay, but at the end of the day, you know Imperium was going to win. So Drew still standing out there. And then as Drew standing out there after the match was done, the Viking Raiders came out there and they just started beating the snot out of Drew. So then that's when Sheamus came out there, tried to help. And then that's when Braun Strowman got involved. And then you seen Ricochet flipping off. Hey, listen. They tried to get the crowd out there in Indiana. Indiana was an okay crowd. I've heard better. But like I said, first match it was okay. But like I said, Drew standing out there just told me which way they're going. So, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting a triple threat. As much as I would have preferred the triple threat of Sammy being integrated into the main event scene, which would have been Sammy, Cody, and Roman Reigns, we're not going that route. So now we're going Drew McIntyre, Sheamus, and Gunther for the Intercontinental title. I'm sorry, but you conditioned me that Drew and Sheamus are a tag team. Why the heck are we re-breaking them up? Makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense, but this is the route they're going. Hey, it is what it is. So, then we get a backstage segment. Ray is being interviewed, and he said he got some unfinished business with Karrion Kross. Then that's when Santos Escobar walks up and he says, when you gave me your mask, that was a sign of respect. Well, I'm here to say I got your back no matter what. So then that's when Dominic comes out the woodwork and he started getting into it with Ray, and Ray said, look, I ain't got time for this, man. Look, son, I'm serious. I got to get ready for a match. I'll deal with your tail later. He said, hey, I'm going to be bothering you all day. So, So then they cut back. We see Jimmy and Solo chilling with Paul Heyman. And Roman's not there. He's holding the titles. And he told that man, look, whatever you need to do, you need to get a hold of your brother. Because if you can't get a hold of your brother, Reigns will deal with your brother next week. So this is why I'm telling y'all, I can't wait to talk about the story at the end of the show, because a lot of people is praising the thing. I'm not praising it because I really don't have, I'm not into it like how I was. They messed up everything at the Elimination Chamber. The chamber was designed to get the heat off of Roman and put on Jay. Them trying to milk this thing is not going to do it for me. I'm sorry, it's just not. Sami Zayn is still the biggest story going into WrestleMania. Whether people like that or not, he is. He's bigger than Cody. He's too bigger than Cody. And people told me, they said, man, well, we need this match to main event night one. Ladies and gentlemen, as big as this is, it's not going to main event night one. And more than likely, Triple H, goofy clown behind, might have this open night two on some real stupid stuff. It is what it is. So, LA Knight, he comes out, he says, listen, my name's LA Knight. Yeah, all that dumb stuff he like to do. He said, listen, everybody always talk about making a WrestleMania moment. Well, we're not going to have WrestleMania without me, because LA is in my name and we're in WrestleMania. It's LA. I'm going to be there. So as he's rambling off and talking about all this stuff, here comes the New Day. Kofi and Woods come out there and they start going back and forth, clowning and everything. Now, here's the deal. When I seen them two come out there, automatically, this is where my mind going. You know LA Knight finna beat the snot out of Goofy. You already know. And they desperately try so hard to remind you that Kofi did win the WWE Championship, but we already know how the run went. Y'all already know how that stuff went. And so I had to think about it. Okay, we're still in Black History Month. Triple H and them did a terrible job at the Elimination Chamber when it came to us, but now I said, I don't know. So as these two started wrestling, it kind of started off kind of slow, and LA Knight was getting the better hand. Meanwhile, you had Woods out there blowing that doggone trombone. Listen, man, I told you I respect the mess out of these cats. I respect the mess out of both of them. But y'all, this shucking and jiving, it just don't do it for me, man. I'm sorry, it does not. Y'all can enjoy the shucking and jiving all you want, but this shucking and jiving stuff, it just don't do it for me. So, after they went back to, they came back for commercial. You see Woods kind of getting into it with LA Knight. And he told him, you want to disqualify it and make your boy lose? Go ahead, hit me. Go play your dang trombone. In other words, you keep shucking and jiving over there while I beat the brakes off of your shucking and jiving partner. So as he get back in the ring, Kofi start, getting back into it. And then as I'm watching this, I'm sitting up and saying to myself, uh-oh. So then, as the referee wasn't paying attention, LA Knight got a hold of Xavier Woods and laid him out. So that right there told me, okay, Kofi Kingston's going to win. So when after Woods had woke back up, LA Knight went on the turnbuckles, went on the ropes. And that's when Woods popped out of nowhere with the trombone to basically catch him off his guard. And that's when Kofi basically did Trouble in Paradise and got the win. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know where this is leading, but if this is leading to LA Knight potentially versus Big E at WrestleMania, I don't want it. Because, ladies and gentlemen, you know who's going to win. LA Knight is going to win. And then, once again, I said it. How the heck, check this out. How the heck does the New Day have absolutely no wins at WrestleMania? Kofi Kingston got the one win. The one. Out of all the matches they had, they got one of the worst records in WrestleMania history. So you telling me that you would bring Big E back after the man could potentially been paralyzed? You would bring him back just to lose to LA Knight? To me, that's retarded. That's stupid. And again, that just showcased that you can't trust Triple H when it's concerning us. And I'm really going to get on this case when I get to that Bray Wyatt stuff. But that's what it feel like. So it feel like he going to go against Woods and then Woods going to beat him. So then that's when Big E going to come. I don't want Big E to come back this year. I want Big E to come back in the 2024 Royal Rumble. That's when I would like him to come back. But it just feels like that's what this is leading to. And you know they're not winning. It's the same old with them. First they got robbed last year. The fact that they was on the show, they was supposed to wrestle on night one, they got screwed. Then you put them on night two, and they lose in 2 minutes. See, this is what I said, man. I respect all three of those cats, but I do not condone the buck dances that they be doing. I can't get down with that. But I do like to see them actually get victories on WrestleMania. But you already know every time they go to WrestleMania, outside of Kofi getting the one win at 35, which was outstanding, it was great. They just be there just shucking jive. That's it. That's the only reason they on the show. That's it. So Kofi wins and gets the victory. So then that's when they get ready for Rhea and Charlotte. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I know people want the tag team, the main event. It's not. Your main event for night one is Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. So Charlotte came out there. She started rambling, talking about why she the best and all this. And listen, every time Charlotte talk, it's the same type of promo. It's the same thing. She says absolutely nothing. Now, she mentioned that Ric Flair turns 74 tomorrow, so she gave him a birthday shout out. But she said, I need Rhea to come out here so we can get this face-to-face on. So she said, well, I guess, Rhea, you must be scared. You must have forgot exactly what happened to you through, WrestleMania 36. Yeah, 3 years ago. So next thing you know, you hear Dominic's voice. Dominic come out there. So I guess this was designed to get the heat off of Charlotte because, ladies and gentlemen, ain't nobody cheering for no doggone Charlotte. Nobody. No, listen, man. The whole thing for this whole feud is so backwards. You know, it's so backwards. It's so backwards, man. Rhea's supposed to be a heel. Charlotte's supposed to be a baby face, but they said, nah, let's send Dominic out there. So Dominic out there trying to go toe to toe. He said, yo, me and you are second and third generational kid wrestlers. Listen, like, I want you to talk to my mommy and all this. And then that's when she mentioned Andrade, which has been sitting in AEW. Well, actually, he been sitting in his own jail doing absolutely nothing. Listen, man, look, if he want to go back to the WWE, he can go back there. Because she mentioned him. She said, no, I got a real poppy at home. What you are. And his accent is 1,000% better than yours. It's some kind of crazy stuff. So these two just going back and forth. And then when she looked like she was finna beat the brakes off of that man, because he said, he talked about how he can't stand his father. He hate his dad and all this stuff. Then that's when she said, well, unlike you, I love my father, you know. And that's when she mentioned it was his birthday. But, so these two just going on and on and on. And then that's when Rhea came out there. So Rhea got into her face, and she looked like she was finna do something. But then Dominic was trying to hold her back and all this stuff. And then she looked like she was going to do something again. But, ladies and gentlemen, this does not feel like a main event. It doesn't. I told you, this is half booking. This is politicking one-on-one when it's concerning the wrestling. Why you think Miss Sasha Banks, a.k.a. Mercedes Moné, got the heck up out of there? Same thing with Miss Trinity Fatu. Why you think they got the heck up out of there? Because they already knew. Neither one of them was getting that spot that she and Miss Ronda Rousey was going to take over. Or Becky. So they said, no, we got to get the clown up out of here. But, no, this does not feel like a main event. But I'm telling you right now, it's going to main event night one. It is. It's a done deal. So, like I said, it is what it is. So then, yeah, I just talked about that. So we get they once again they still trying to get us to feel some kind of way about Sami Zayn getting screwed in Elimination Chamber. I'm like, why are y'all doing this? So they can see him and Kevin Owens can win some lackluster tag team titles. You know, it's. So, once again, Natalya versus Shayna Baszler for the 18th millionth time. I understand she broke her nose, so obviously they had to go. So, now Natalya then hooked up with Tegan Nox. So, Tegan Nox was in their corner, just like Ronda was in Shayna Baszler's corner. And as you already know, Shayna Baszler had made to submit. So, I think next week is going to be a tag team match. It's going to be Tegan Nox, Natalya, Shayna Baszler, and Ronda. You know what, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, it's going to be a fatal four-way for the tag team titles for the women. It ain't gonna be what you think it's gonna be. It's gonna be a fade. So this WrestleMania about to be multi-man match heavy. So y'all know how we always cook Tony Khan for trying to get everybody and their mama on the card. This is Triple H and Vince McMahon trying to get everybody on the card. That's basically what's about to happen. This is finna be a fatal 4-way for the tag team titles. Ain't gonna be no singles match. It's gonna be a fatal 4-way. Because we already know Lita and Becky are about to win the tag team titles off of Damage Control, or my bad, Damaged Goods, because that's exactly what they are. So they finna win those titles next week. So they going into WrestleMania with those titles, but it's gonna turn into a fatal 4-way, and this is when Shayna and Ronda are gonna win. So obviously Lita and Becky are gonna be transitional champions. That's basically what it is. So after that, they get after that, I think this was by far the worst segment on the whole show. We got the Firefly Fun House has returned. This was terrible. I said, what in the world is this goofy crap that they trying to... I'm like, dude, I have no desire to see Bray Wyatt versus Bobby. I just don't. Man, I hate to say it, but Bray Wyatt returning ain't done nothing. It hasn't done anything. Ever since the Pitch Black match, they haven't done nothing. This whole thing has failed. It's failed bad. And I had hope. I had hope that Bray and them was gonna revamp. But man, it just seems like this whole experiment is dead. And now we got to deal with him and Bobby going into WrestleMania. Ain't nobody gonna care about that. See, this is where remember when they said that we was gonna get another advertisement match. This match gonna be the Cinnamon Toast Crunch match, and boy, it's gonna be a clown match. You gonna probably have them in a bowl of cereal trying to look stupid. It ain't gonna make no type of sense. None whatsoever. A Cinnamon Toast Crunch match. This is it. Bray Wyatt versus Bobby. With some, and then I'm watching this show and I'm like, what? I said Raw was terrible, man, and then SmackDown come and follow up with that same. I'm like, dog. I said, man, this is week one. Week one is down, and you go ahead and put on this lackluster television thinking that this is... Now, obviously, you know fools that love Triple H and love the E, they going to come on here and they going to praise this stuff and act like everything that was... No, it wasn't. Now, like I said, what I did like is the situation that takes place right here. So, we get Karrion Kross versus Ray. This was an okay match. Ray was looking like he was going to win. You know, Scarlet Witch. Yes, her name. Yes, Scarlet Witch. Karrion Kross's wife. She had to find a way to get involved. So Ray looked like he was going to go for the 619. But as soon as he was trying to go for the 619, that's when Dominic came out to woodwork and basically screwed him up. And that's how Karrion Kross won. So then after that, he got in the ring with that man and he just kept pushing him. And Ray looked like he was ready to swing on the man. He said, no, I can't. I got too much respect for you. You my baby boy. You my son. I'm not finna hit you. I got too much respect for you. But Dominic, he just keep pushing him. He keep pushing him. And Ray and them and the whole crowd. I think this was outside the Sammy spot and them towards the NJ spot. This was the second loudest pop of the night. They really wanted Ray to snap on him. They really did. But Ray just he consoled himself. He kept holding back. He kept pushing that man. He said, "No, listen. Out of everything I saw tonight, I thought that this was great storytelling. I got to give Triple H props on this. Everybody been wanting this matchup. We've been wanting how the story is going to be. Yes, Ray does not want... He knows that that's his baby boy. That's his seed right there. He don't. And his son is just keep pushing the edge. He keep disrespecting. He keep pushing him. He keep punking him out. He even called him a punk. I said, you know what? I like this. I actually didn't have a problem with this. So kudos to H&M. If it's one bright spot on this show, I give them props on this situation. So, but like I said, that Funhouse crap, that was garbage. It was terrible. It was one of the worst segments I've ever seen by Bray Wyatt. It was terrible. So after this, we get the final segment. Jimmy Uso goes to the ring and he hops on the mic and he talks about how he needs, he don't know where Jay is at. But he said we need to put an end to this whole Sami Zayn situation. So he said, are you in or are you out? Wherever you at. So as he's rambling and going in, that's when Sammy pops up out of nowhere and the crowd just start going berserk. They start going crazy. So then that's when the two of them confront each other. And I say, well, ladies and gentlemen, the matchup, and now here's the deal. Sammy did mention that his story with Roman Reigns ain't over. But he said, I need y'all to get online. He said, first of all, man, what happened? He said, you was my dog. He said, listen, when I first got on, you was the main one. He said, it wasn't Jay. Jay was the one that didn't want me to get in. You got in and you accepted me right away. What the heck happened? What the heck happened, man? Like, real talk. What the heck happened? And then he said, talk about, no, man. He said, because you was vulnerable, man. You was vulnerable, man. You know, listen, the back and forth, I thought was great. I thought it was good, man. I ain't gonna front on that. But still, though, I just feel like this whole tag team thing is just not gonna mean nothing. It's just gonna be a waste of time. I'm sorry, it's gonna be a waste. It's because every key player that's a part of this just seems like they are bigger than some garbage tag team titles. Man, people talk about, well, Kevin Owens gonna be left out. Kevin Owens has had 5 KO Manias. Yo, listen, Sami Zayn has 2 garbage matches that he's lost. He lost to what's the circus clown? The Paul brother. He lost to Logan Paul. Then he lost to Johnny Knoxville and crew. Sammy ain't had no moment of WrestleMania. Will you tell me the last time Sami Zayn had a moment? People say, well, this will be his no. And so anyway, so as they talking, as they going in, they going crazy. Jay comes out the woodwork, and you see Jay, and he still got that look on his face as if he's conflicted because he don't know what side to go, what side to roll with, and all of this. And so anyway, as this two of them are still talking, they still going, and he catches them up there. So Sammy sees him, he locks eyes with him. That's when Jimmy started trying to beat the brakes off of Sammy, but then Sammy ended up knocking him out. So as you can see, Jay saw that. So a lot of people is going based off of that. They saying that this is the thing that's going to cause Jay to quote unquote get in line with the bloodline. And listen, I'm trying to tell y'all, it don't even matter what they do. It doesn't matter. They can come out here, give us great promo after great promo, do all of that, and at the end of the day, I'm still not gonna care about the match. Even though I know the match is going to be good, it's just going to feel like this is all just a lackluster thing. And guess what it's going to do? It's going to kill the momentum of everybody in this match. Sammy's momentum is going back down to the drain. Jay's momentum is going back down to the drain. It's a waste of time. Jay and Sammy have been elevated to the main event picture, in my honest opinion. Kevin Owens already been up there. It was time for Sammy to get up there, and it was time for Jay to get up there, and they have made their way up there. Now with them going back the tag team route, which is real stupid, it's all for naught. It's absolutely all for naught. And so that's how the show went off. It went off like that. Like I said, man, boy, I tell you, like I said, this is just the first week. Still got 5 weeks to build, but man, this WrestleMania, I don't know. Listen. I had great hopes. My hopes was up there for this to possibly be a good WrestleMania. Which here, wrestling wise, I still think it's gonna be a good WrestleMania wrestling wise, but the all around mystique of everything that's finna transpire in this show, based on how they booking this show, man, I feel like they finna just half book everything, go into this show and make you the audience, make you feel like you own something, but you're not. And they gonna treat you like you a dummy. That's exactly what these fools, every single person involved with this entire show, they gonna treat you like you don't have no type of sense whatsoever. None. How you got like maybe 2 or 3 decent matches that have a WrestleMania type of feel while the rest of the show cast is just out there? And I'm like, I watched the show. I really did. I sat there and I just said, man, I'm not gonna care. I don't care what, because Jay, them trying to play this, they trying hard. I understand it. They're trying hard, and now it's funny how some people, they didn't jump right in. You talk about gullible is gullible. That a lot of these wrestling fans are. They jump right in. They fell for the okie doke, and now they back on board. Talk about, oh man, I can't wait for this the main event night one. No, because it's not. I know you wanted the main event night one. It's not. It's probably gonna be the opener for night two. I'm like, and you know what, man, y'all, this WrestleMania might be messing around to be tag team heavy. We might get like 4 or 5 tag team matches just based off of how I'm seeing things pan out. This might be a tag team heavy WrestleMania, and I'm like, man, I'm like, dog. Like I said, man, it is what it is, man. Like I said, we still got 5 weeks left, but like I said, I still have absolutely no desire to see Jay, Jimmy, and Kevin and Sammy. I just don't. They can try their best to make you give a care, and it's just not gonna work. I'm telling you, watch. Soon as Jay snap and get in line, I'm just, and then people say, well, this is gonna be the catalyst. No, because listen, Cody's situation, man. I'm trying to tell you. No, listen, man. They can try, because this is the deal. I should have expected. This is what they should have did. They should have had Roman on the show, and they should have had Cody on the show, because that's what you want to build towards. This whole thing about Cody and Paul Heyman is not going to do it. It's not going to do it. We need the two clowns that's going to get in the ring with each other to finally get face to face. That's what we want. I don't want Cody and Paul Heyman trying to carry a long man feud and think that that's what's going to excite me and all of this. And it's just not, man. I'm sorry. So let's see. So let's go back. Let's go ahead and talk about Rampage. Now, Rampage. Let's go ahead. Let's break down this show. Yes, it was taped. Had some good wrestling on the show. Thought it was a decent show, but still, I still think that there still needs some story. You need a little bit more story than just the wrestling itself, because the same formulaic ways how Tony Khan does. Let me open you up with a hype man tag team match or a hype man match over here or something. I need something like, heck, you could have gave us a video package of how that opener match came to be, or something. Give us something to sink our teeth in, or something, so we know that you want Rampage to be important, because that's the whole point. Fools been online crying about Rampage ain't even worth watching. It's not worth watching. It's not even important. I'm like, well, I get it. That's why he had the House of Black confront them on the show, because he wants you to watch it. He wants us to actually think that Rampage is important. I say, well, it's more ways than just doing that. You don't have to always open up with a match. You can tell us some type of story, get us linked into something. So we know, okay, Rampage is important. Now, like I said, there was some decent things that happened on the show. Like I said, the matches speak for themselves, but at the end of the day, we still need Rampage. I still need Rampage to be live, because tape Rampages, even with the show being somewhat decent, we still need the show to be live. So let's go ahead and break down the show. They were still live from Arizona. We got the Young Bucks taking on the Aussie Open. Now, everybody who's not familiar with Aussie Open, they pulled up at Forbidden Door last year, and they are 2/3 of the trios with their main dude, Will Ospreay. So a lot of people was looking for the graphic of them being signed towards the end. I'm not sure. This was, listen, typical Young Bucks match. Listen, I understand why the Young Bucks ain't everybody's cup of tea, but fans love the Young Bucks. Obviously, the fans was going off. They were saying this is awesome. The Aussie Open are pretty solid themselves, so they tried to give us a little something, but Young Bucks ended up winning. So Kenny was standing right there. He was watching his guys, and you had Don the Clown on commentary. And as soon after they won, the three of them got in the ring to celebrate. That's when the lights went off. And now, like I said, for me, I personally think that we could have held this off. I think this whole feud needed more story time to build up to the said fight that we get in that Revolution. Let me try to build the match. Let me try to build the storyline off of 2 weeks. It's not going to cut it. It's not. So lights pop back on. The entire House of Black is surrounding them. And they look like they got spooked and everything. And I said, is that supposed to be the thing that's supposed to sink us into this matchup? And I'm not saying the match ain't gonna be raw. I bet you the match is gonna be outstanding because it seems like anytime Young Bucks and Kenny Omega get into a trios with somebody that's just as good as them, the match is always banging. You be on the edge of your seat. I get it. That's the whole point of them. They think that all we care about is the wrestling. I'm like, no, man. Heck, shout out to Matt Hardy, and I'm gonna talk about his brother Jeff too. Matt Hardy said it. He said AEW's doing fine. They moving in the right direction. But he said, I feel that AEW will be so much better along, so much further along if they built story and the characters had opportunity to be developed. I said, man, now listen to your guy that's in your locker room, Tony Khan. Your guy in your locker room straight said what all of us have been saying. It ain't just about the raw matches that you give us. We're going to get great wrestling all the time. We're going to get it. Sometimes they miss, but majority of the times they hit. But we need the stories and we need the character development. That's the whole point. It's the whole point why people want to tune into your product. So, like I said, they was out here doing all the shenanigans and all the crazy stuff and everything, but they end up winning. So, like I said, I talked about that situation. So we get a backstage segment. We got Chucky T and Trent Beretta basically talking about how they got screwed, but they looking forward to the Casino Battle Royale for next week on Dynamite so that they get up to that tag team match and win the tag team titles. And as soon as they started talking, that's when Big B, Lee Moriarty, and the Guns pulled up and basically injured with both of them. Now, obviously, this is a storyline injury, so they just told me that Chucky T and Trent Beretta is getting in that match. They're going to be the fourth team to get in. So after they got jumped, OC and Don Hansen popped up and asked them was they okay. Now, this cat tweet I just seen on Twitter, I wasn't even thinking about this. They said, yo, remember that promo that Stokely made saying that the firm was going to run rampant throughout AEW? Well, technically their head leader is the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Now, the Guns have the tag team titles. Lee Moriarty more than likely going to win that Pure Ring of Honor Championship. Big Bill or All Ego Page is going to potentially win the All Atlantic Championship. I said, you know what? I wasn't even thinking about that. So more than likely, this could potentially make the firm basically dominating AEW. The Guns are technically still a part of the firm, and they are with MJF. They have the tag team titles as of right now. Big Bill or All Ego Page is going to end up winning that All Atlantic Championship off of OC. And then Lee Moriarty is going at the Pure Ring of Honor Championship. And I'm like, man, that's a good point. I wasn't even thinking about that. So I appreciate Homeboy paying attention to detail. I got to give props to that because I wasn't even paying no attention to that. So we get Tony Storm taking on Miss Willow Nightingale. I love her bubbly personality. I know a lot of people don't like her, but I do. This was actually a pretty good match. Saraya out there. Now let me tell you something. Saraya been running all over the place. Matter of fact, her ego really done went through the roof because apparently the segment with her last week, the ratings was extremely high. And she said, I thought when I be on the screen, the readings would go. Listen, Saraya really be going back and forth with the fans because a lot of people can't stand her. Then she pretty much said that she gonna walk out with the championship. I said, no, she not. She ain't nowhere near ring ready. She needs to get her reps up. Once she get them reps up, heck, that's why the house shows are going to be help cats that really need that in-ring ability to get down. So these would benefit shows for her, Jade, some of the other women, and some of the other men that need work. I'm telling you. Like I said, this was a somewhat decent match. Tony Storm gets the victory as usual. But then that's when Ruby Soho came running out there, and then that's after Ruby came running out there. That's when Jamie and Britt came running out there. So, listen, it's all about the storylines that's supposed to get us to blood and guts. That's what this is all about right now. So they put up the graphic. Tony Storm going against the return of Rio. Rio has been missed. Rio is I love Rio, man. Listen, she's very small. She's very petite, but she can wrestle. And this right here, listen, Tony don't need to win this. I need Rio to win next Wednesday on Dynamite. I need. So The Acclaim are talking about them taking out everybody. They're going to beat the snot out of everybody because the whole tag team division is nothing but female dogs, and they're going to win their tag team titles back. Well, as soon as they started talking, that's when Sanjay Dutt sat down and said, oh, Billy Gunn said, yeah, and that big dumb, as soon as he started calling him out his name, that's when Satnam Singh pulled up Sanjay Dutt, Jeff Jarrett, and Jay Leto, and they beat the snot out the Acclaim. I mean, they tore them up. I said, you know what? Hey, 2 backstage segments that dealt with the storyline, the cats that's in this match, I actually didn't have a problem with that. I say, look, hey, kudos to them for trying to get us to care. We have a returning Lance Archer. Lance Archer basically pulled some bum that don't nobody know, slang him around. His name is Bryce Sadner. He slung that fool around, beat the snot out of him, and the match is over. And it was good to see Jake the Snake Roberts too. I said, they've been heavily missed. They've been missed. I said, you know what? Good to see them back. Jade cuts her promo. She said, listen, I'm 50+0. I done ran through this entire women's locker room. I'm like, it's time. I'm out for this whole stuff. Look, I need somebody that's worth my time. So I'm issuing an open challenge at Revolution. So, ladies and gentlemen, could this mean we get somebody brand new? I don't know. But whoever it is, Jade is losing. Jade will be losing this So if we get one title change at this pay-per-view, it's going to be Jade. Jade is maybe 2. So as much as I don't want the TNT title to change hands, they feel like Warlow going to get that thing back. I just don't like the hot-potato on the TNT title. I don't. I would prefer just some more Joe retaining that championship. But Jade Cargill, I think she's losing this thing. And I think after she loses this thing, this is when Jade can really take advantage of the house shows and get her reps in, get better in the ring, and then come back fighting stronger. Because that promo she cut, the girl has it. I don't know why we know why fools hate Jade Cargill. I don't even have to tell you exactly why. King Mike gave you a great description on one of his videos he did, talking about why people just straight disrespect Jade Cargill, and we know why. Man, the young lady got it, man. The presence that she has about her, I'm like, man, I said, man, if she get that in-ring ability, that's what I'm praying for her hard, because I love this woman. I like Jay. I like everything about her. I like her presence. Y'all know me. I got the utmost respect for women. I would never call her, you know what she calls herself. But she is that woman. She is, and she really is. And that promo that she cut just showed you she's oozing with charisma. She's oozing with that I'm the it girl. I'm it. I'm that woman. She really is that woman. And so whoever it is, I believe Jade Cargill is losing that Revolution. So that's your added match. So then we get Dustin Rhodes and Keith Lee looking like shout out to my man, G Nation, looking like a Southern Baptist preacher. Man, Swerve then beat that man up so bad that not only his hair turned white, he turned himself into a preacher. That's messed up. That's messed up. So Dustin and them said, listen, we're looking forward to a tag team match on Dynamite. So apparently we gonna have Swerve and Parker Bardot in the tag team action versus Lee and Dustin. So I believe that, I guess this is gonna lead to Swerve and Lee at the pay-per-view. I guess, I don't know. I have no clue. And so on, let's see, today is Friday, right? Monday and Tuesday is the first taped episodes of the Ring of Honor TV show, which will be aired every Thursday night on Ring of Honor Club, or with Honor Club, the app. I think it's like $10, something like that. Listen, we got the pay-per-view coming up on March 31st. So more than likely, I'm gonna have to pay attention if I want to know what's gonna be going on Supercard of Honor out there at WrestleMania land, because it's gonna be in LA. I don't know. I have no idea where they're going with this. So we get to the main event. So Action Andrade, Sammy cutting the promos. You know what, man? I'm gonna be honest with you. I think I liked when they had the video package back and forth, because I think people was able to relax. Because remember, certain cats are good in front of the mic, in front of a live crowd, and then other cats, they still need time to work that. Now, Action Andrade, I'm gonna be honest with you, I feel like he got a little cold. Because he been dealing with Jericho and Sammy and them for so long. But listen, this matchup was actually pretty decent main event. I'm not gonna lie. Y'all know Mark Henry said his line. It's time for the main event. So during this matchup, apparently we're not getting the Face of the Revolution ladder match at the pay-per-view. Instead, Tony Khan is going to have that match take place on Dynamite, which makes it very interesting. Casting already qualified. Action Andrade's in it, Sammy Guevara's in it, Powerhouse Hobbs in it, Ortiz, Eddie Kingston, AR Fox, Konosuke Takeshita, and Commander, which is the Lucha Libre from AAA. Now, this right here tells me one thing. If a babyface wins, then Warlow's losing. Samoa Joe's going to retain. But if a heel wins, that means Warlow winning. That's what that means to me. So, we'll see. Excuse me. We'll see what happens. Sammy beat the snot out of Action. Action looked like he was going to get the victory, but DG, Daniel Garcia, was right there. Rick Knox had his back turned. DG knocked the boy out and got the GTH. Match over. Guerrero wins. And that's how Rampage goes off. So I would say this. I give the nod to Rampage only a slight nod. Not all the way. I said it was a decent show. It wasn't the best, but it was a decent show. So I give the nod on that. I still need Rampage to find a way to be live. Ain't no tape stuff. I don't need no tape stuff. I need these shows to feel like they matter. You know what I'm saying? That's all I need. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, that is my review. Yes, let me go ahead and talk about it. So we got the news on Jeff Hardy. So Jeff Hardy was supposed to spend 38 days in prison because he failed his drug test. He got a DUI from last year. So he's supposed to do 38 days in prison. That got removed. Listen, when I saw that got removed, I said, this dude is blessed. Now, his license is revoked for 10 years. He can't drive for 10 years, so more than likely, somebody got to drive him all over the place. My thing with him, he just needs to get all the help he can. Like I say, if he don't know the Lord, this is the perfect time to turn to him. This is the perfect time to help him get his life together. And I don't want to listen. If he needs to take a year away, like whatever, I don't need to. Because a lot of people say, "Well, do they want to see him back wrestling?" I just want him to be alive and healthy, and I don't want him getting behind the wheel taking somebody's life. I don't. But dude, he blessed. Dude is blessed. He's tremendously blessed, man. Like I said, if there's any other Joe Schmo, they going to jail again. Because this ain't his first. It's like his third or fourth one. I can see if you made him stay one time, but this dude then got at least 3 or 4 or 5 of them. So listen, the courts out there in Florida, they had every right to lock his behind up. Every right. But I'm like, listen, bro, look, do what you need to do to get your life together, man. Do what you need to do. But yeah, so like I said, let me go ahead and talk about them War and War. Like I said, everybody was crying online that everybody in AEW got him. I'm like, it is what it is. I'm like, I don't get too carried away about that stuff. I don't. That's just not what I do. I don't get caught up in all that stuff. But it seems to get the IWC all bent out of shape. And then, like I said, you got fools hopping online talking about WB's bankrupt and they gonna get rid of it. I'm like, man, I never seen. Listen, I understand it. If you don't like a certain product, that's fine. But you going out your way trying to find ways to put tweets in the air, put energy in the air that's negative towards a company that you don't like. So you want this certain company to fail because they being successful? Heck, yeah. WB just ordered a new show. They said they wanted more wrestling content. So there you have it. People who like that type, that style, that reality TV stuff, there you have it. You know? But like I said, man, I'm hoping that one company dies and the other. Like, no, man. Listen, like I said, I'm able to talk more wrestling because we got multiple wrestling companies to look at. Listen, I get on WWE because I understand if they want to tell a great story, they can. But sometimes they just be doing anything and you got to check them. Same thing with Tony Khan. No, I ain't giving nobody no pass. I'm not. You know what I'm saying? But, hey, this is a case for King Self for Life Wrestling Takes. I'll talk to y'all cats next time. If there's any news, anything, maybe I'll pop back up. But hey, I'll talk to y'all cats later. I'll let you boy.